So this episode is going to be that Childfree guy and reading Reddit because it's a cautionary tale to me. I think that as adults who are able to balance different relationships, we should be able to, I don't know, walk and chew gum at the same time. And sometimes we have to walk, and sometimes we have to chew gum, and sometimes we have to do it at the same time. Now, I feel that when it comes um, to who always comes first, there's always going to be the spouse. The spouses need to be a unit together, and the spouses also need to be a unit with their children. In a healthy relationship, spouses will have date night and things that will bring them together as a couple. So, and they will also be a unit so that they can support their children. I ain't gonna be worried about the kids piece because I don't have to worry about that because I'm not gonna have that. However, this tale is about one woman who made motherhood her entire personality, and she gonna be a just no mother-in-law very soon. So here we go. Am I the asshole? AITAH. For telling my ex that she chose our kids over our relationship, and it's not my problem that she is lonely now that they are grown up. My ex and I had our first child when we were 26. We met at a bar celebrating our 21st birthday. We are literally the exact same age. She changed. Being a mom became her only identity. Our second child, when we were 28, compounded it. She wasn't a mom, not a wife, and not even herself. Not the woman I met, fell in love with, and married. All she wanted to do was kid stuff: kids' movies, kid TV, kid books, everything. If I wanted to drop the kids off and take her to the farmer's market, she would say no, that the kids love the farmer's market. We had to take them. They were three and one. They did not love the farmer's market. If anything, the older one loved the mini donuts. And she couldn't stand to hear them cry, so she let them sleep with us constantly. When I put down my foot down, she would start crying about how mean I was. When the kids finally outgrew that, she would let them come into our room without knocking. So intimacy was interesting. Having a cold little hand grab my calf made for one very hard thrust. I put a lock on the bedroom door. She took it off. We went to counseling. She went for counseling. Nothing ever changed. She said it would be different when the kids were older. It never changed. I left when the kids were 9 and 11. I had planned a trip for our 15th anniversary. We were going to Thailand like she always planned when we were younger. She changed the plans. She canceled with her parents watching the kids. We went as a family to Disney World. We had been the year before and the kids loved it so much. I lasted another 6 months, then I left. I pay child support, I pay spousal support, I am there for the kids all the time. I enjoy my custody time. I go to their extracurriculars on the days I don't have them. I have rooms for them in my house. I met someone new a year later. We got married a year after that. We had our first child 2 years after that. She is an excellent stepmom, and kids are polite and friendly with her. They were grown up and they had a mom, so she is more of a trusted adult. The kids are 16 and 14, and they are sick of mom's attention. They are spending more and more of their time at my house. I love having them over, and here they understand what privacy and personal space mean. My ex is lonely. She devoted her life to her kids, and she expected them to be around her forever, I guess. She has dated other men, but she refuses to prioritize them in any way over the kids. An example: one guy lasted 6 months. He wanted to take her away for the weekend. She couldn't because the younger one had a soccer game. It was my weekend. The guy had checked with me that I would be attending and not just leaving the kid at the field. I was. She refused to go and showed up at the game without him. That was the last I saw him. She is getting angry and bitter that I left her alone to start a new family with my child bride. My wife was 30 when I met her and I was 38. I wasn't exactly robbing the cradle. I told her that she wanted that life, that I gave her every opportunity to be my partner, and she said she would rather be a mom. She said that wasn't true. I asked her to prove me wrong, to tell me when she put our relationship above the slightest inconvenience to our kids. She couldn't do it. I reminded her that she passed up a weekend with her boyfriend to go to a soccer game. She said it was important. I said that adult relationships are also important. My wife thinks I was harsh, but fair. Our child sleeps through the night in her nursery, though. Yachts, I can't, that is why I think that when people try to tell women that the most important calling on their life is a wife and a mother, I'm like, nonsense, that is some Bolshevik, because women are their own people, and for us to act like they're sainted because they're moms. In fact, sometimes I think that people would rather have a bad mother than, like, a bad mother is greater than a woman that doesn't want kids, and I feel that that's some nonsense. So our first comment here from Solid Ashford, not the asshole. This is what happens when women make mother their only title. She ruined her own marriage by refusing to cultivate your relationship apart from the kids, and are angry that you moved on with someone who won't do the same. She allowed this by focusing exclusively on the kids, and now that the relationship is changing to her kids, she is in all kinds of upheaval. Unless she takes responsibility and leaves Delulu Land, she'll continue to be lonely and likely lash out at everyone for leaving her. Another person, Dizzy Ducky, says, not the asshole. As a child of a woman like your ex, I got to see firsthand what her decisions to never ever leave my side to do anything with my dad alone did to their marriage. It was horrible and hurt him so deeply. It was also incredibly suffocating for me, and I resented the hell out of being the whole beginning and end of her world. It's great that your kids are able to see and appreciate the differences in lifestyles and choosing to spend more time with you. She's going to be in for a world of serious hurt if she doesn't learn and refuses to back off them once they are able to fly the nest. And we're going to have another comment. I re- Lady Jigglypuff says she's going to end up being written about on r/just no mother-in-law if she's not careful. And Dizzy Ducky replies to that saying, right, or she'll end up posting on here in a couple of years complaining that her children are selfish and have abandoned her and she doesn't know why. And let me check for another comment here, okay, these are two comments that'll be our last ones. Not the asshole. She made a choice, you made yours in reply. You gave her 15 years to choose you, and she refused. And now, when you ask her to provide details behind her accusations, she can't. To me, that's the approach to continue to take. Every accusation asks for details behind that conclusion. And when she can't provide the details, maybe start adding in, then I would appreciate you stopping your baseless accusations. And then our last comment here is a little bit of a thread. Read something, replies, says, not the asshole, I'm 63, and I remember my dad telling me something when I was about 12 or 13-ish and complaining about my mom. He said that I had two sisters, would be in the home for a relatively short time, but he would be with my mom forever. Their relationship was the primary one. I've never forgotten it. Queso del Diablo said, your dad was a wise man. Frosty Tail replies to that, when me and my wife were having issues, my uncle told me the same thing. She's number one. Treat her that way. Been different ever since. Okay. So I like these varying perspectives, but I love the fact that OP said that when she said that her relationship with her kids were important, he said adult relationships are too. Now, while yes, in a relationship, it is the married spouses, the man and the woman, the mom and dad. Why did I? That from them came this family. If they were birthed, but both relationships are very important. She discarded one in favor of the other, and that's why I say that you can walk and chew gum at the same time. That is also why it is important for spouses to prioritize each other as well. So she is talking about a child bride when they're only 8 years apart, and I'm just like, no, you're just mad. You're just mad that you made the choice that you were eventually going to be unhappy with because you probably thought that OP was going to stay around forever, and he did not. So she big mad. She got the sads. All right, thank you so much for joining me here. You have a great day. This has been Reading Reddit with a crossover of That Childfree Guy. Talk to you soon. Thank you for spending your time with me.